Hello everyone, myself Mrs. Archana Mhatre, lecturer in Electronics and Telecommunication Department. In this video, we are going to study the new subject which is microcontroller and applications. So let's start with the unit 1 of the microcontroller and application, which is basics of microprocessor and 8051 microcontroller. In this subject, we are going to study the 8051 series of microcontroller. Now first we will study about microcomputer, microprocessor and basic of microcontroller. So let's start with the microcomputer. As in this diagram you can see here, this is the block diagram of microcomputer. In this first, this is a processor which is CPU, central processing unit. Then address bus, data bus and control bus are there. This bus is nothing but a collection of wires through which the data can be transferred. And these control bus are used to transfer the controlling signal. Now as you can see here, these are the RAM memory and ROM memory. And interface circuitry which is used to interface the peripheral device, that is output devices, to the microcomputer. So microcomputer, a complete computer built on a single circuit board with microprocessor, memory, input-output ports and other features required as a functional computer, which is called as single board microcomputer. So in this microcomputer, on a single board, all these circuitry can be placed, which is processor, buses, that is address bus, data bus, control bus, as well as memory and peripheral devices, that is input output devices. Now next, microprocessor. Now this is the block diagram of microprocessor, which consists of input output. This is the input of microprocessor, this is the output of the microprocessor, and the microprocessor consists of a arithmetic and logic unit, that is ALU. In that ALU, all the arithmetic and logical functions can be performed. Then register array, different type of array register are used in the microprocessor. Register is nothing but to store the data. Either the data is of 8-bit or 16-bit. Then control unit, and that processor, all these devices are connected to the memory unit. Again, memory can be RAM memory and ROM memory. So microprocessor is a programmable digital electronic device that incorporates the functions of a central processing unit, that is CPU, into a single IC package. Microprocessor are general purpose device used in many applications that contains the ALU, that is arithmetic and logical unit, control unit and registers. Register, again, it is used to store the data. Then next we will study about the microcontroller. Now this is a general block diagram of the microcontroller, 8051 microcontroller. In this block diagram, as you can see, we will start from this first block. First block is the interrupt control. Now interrupt, that means the disturbance. So there are total 5 interrupts in the 8051 microcontroller. That interrupt can be internal interrupt or external interrupt. So this is the interrupt, and then this is the CPU processing unit, central processing unit. Then this is the oscillator. The crystal oscillator is used in that 8051 microcontroller. When this oscillator, the frequency is given to this oscillator, then the microcontroller will start its function. Then this is the ROM memory and RAM memory of the microcontroller, that is internal on-chip ROM memory and on-chip RAM memory. The ROM memory also called as program memory, RAM memory also called as data memory. And these are the timer. Two timers are used in 8051 microcontroller, that is timer 0 and timer 1. They can function as a timer as well as a counter, as you can see here. Now these are the buses. Now this is the bus control. Now 4 ports, input output ports are there in 8051 microcontroller, that is port 0, port 1, port 2 and port 3. All these 4 ports are of 8-bit ports. Now then serial port 8051 supports the serial port to transmit the data as well as to receive the data. So this is the general block diagram of microcontroller, 8051 microcontroller. So we will see the description of that block diagram. The microcontroller is a single chip computer that is embedded into a system to function as a processing and controlling. Obviously, microcontroller, the name indicates it is used to processing as well as controlling some functions. Microcontroller consists of all the features that are found in microprocessor with additional built-in ROM, RAM, input-output ports, serial ports, timers, interrupts and clock circuits. It is an entire computer on a single chip that is embedded within the applications. Microcontrollers are widely used in many domestic uh, as well as industrial and automobile areas. Domestic like washing machine, VCD players, then microwave oven, robotics, etc. The 8051 is the first microcontroller of the MCS 51 family developed by Intel Corporation in 1980. Now next we will study about the comparison of a microprocessor and microcontroller, which is a very important question. These are the parameters. On the basis of this parameter we will compare between the microprocessor and microcontroller. So first parameter is number of instructions used. Microprocessor, many instructions to read or write data to from external memory, and in microcontroller there are very few instructions to read or write the data to or from the external memory. Next parameter is memory. Microprocessor do not have inbuilt RAM or ROM memory, while microcontroller have inbuilt RAM and ROM memory. Next parameter is memory required for program and data. The program and data stored in same memory in microprocessor, and in microcontroller there are separate memory required to store the program as well as data. Next parameter is timer. Microprocessor do not have inbuilt timer, while microcontroller has two inbuilt timer, that is timer 0 and timer 1. Next parameter is input-output ports. Microprocessor input-output ports are not available, requires extra devices like 8155 or 8255. In microcontroller, input-output ports are available. Next parameter is serial port. In microprocessor do not have inbuilt serial port, requires an extra devices like 8250 or 8251. In microcontroller, these serial ports are inbuilt. Next parameter is multifunction pins. Microprocessor has less multifunction pins on IC, and microcontroller has many multifunction pins on the IC. Next parameter is Boolean operation. The Boolean operation is not possible directly in the microprocessor, while Boolean operations, that is operations on the individual bits, is possible directly in the microcontroller. The next parameter is accessing time of the microcontroller is microprocessor is higher, and microcontroller accessing time is lower than the microprocessor. Next parameter are register. Microprocessor contains a general purpose register, stack pointer register, program counter register, etc. Microcontroller contains the general purpose register, stack pointer register, program counter register. Additional to that, it contains the special function register, which is SFR, for timers, interrupt and serial communication, etc. For timer, it contains the SFR like TCON, TMOD. For interrupt, it contains the SFR like IE, SFR, IP, SFR, like that. Next parameter is cost. A system is bulkier and expensive as it requires the additional components. And in microcontroller, a system is simple, economic and compact. Hence, the cost of the microcontroller is less. Next parameter is application. Microprocessor has a general purpose processor, computers and personal uses. Microcontroller is used for single purpose, that is dedicated applications, automobile companies, embedded systems, remote control devices, etc. Thank you.